find you well, and whether you're in your office in Wellington and Christchurch, or whether you're at working from home up in Auckland or Sydney, or in fact in your car if your reception isn't great. Before we kick in, I have asked Dave Rosenberg to say a few words to us. So Dave, as I'm sure you all know, is our Managing Director here at Westcon-Comstor New Zealand. Dave's 110% behind the need for us to help our partners maximise their profitability and partnership with AWS in the public sector. Over to you, Dave.
Morning, everybody, and there's a hint of jealousy for those who are south of the Waikato who are living out of lockdown. Certainly I'm not beaming in from my picnic, which I'm now allowed to do. So look, really to introduce this session, I'm pretty excited about the public sector and the Amazon AWS public sector part of the business. Westcon in New Zealand is the only public sector and commercial sector distributor currently today. And as with being first, we were the first to market in New Zealand around AWS as a distributor as well. We have a team which is dedicated and focused to AWS and focused to a channel strategy. So again, one of the unique parts we bring to the partnership is that, you know, we are only channel focused. So we're here to support our partners in AWS. And expertise. So we have been doing this for a long period of time, and headed with Simon and also Jason from an APAC perspective, Jason Hull. We certainly do offer expertise, billing, unique areas, and we're very open to talk to the partners about how we can help you with this new opportunity in New Zealand. And, you know, our goal is to make everyone more profitable. And you know, we're not allowed to use, if we're playing word bingo today, we can't use pandemic and we can't use changing times, but certainly it has seen an acceleration of people hosting in the cloud. And so I think it's very, very timely. So with that, I'll hand back to Simon.
Right, everyone. We're now on to my bit, so you have to listen to my dulcet tones, unfortunately. Mel, are you able to flip us over to the next slide? So this is a very marketing slide that we've got here, and I guess there's some really good value in it. But what I want to talk about is why Westcon in relation to value. What value do we bring to the table? And value typically means different things to different people. So what I wanted to start with is what I saw as being the real value in the channel, and that's having been on board now for 2 years, and what I constantly get asked and what I constantly am addressing. So on that note, I'm going to start with something which sounds a little bit harsh, but I want to start there because it's the best thing to start with when you have people, and we certainly do have people on board today who are currently not just coming through us from a distribution perspective with AWS. We don't do harm. So the most important thing to take away from this is there is no impact to your existing arrangement. Your existing relationship does not change by having Westcon in the mix. In fact, it's probably improved because you've now got a wider set of contacts across the AWS family that we can connect you in with. So your buy price remains the same, your credits, your AWS MDFs, they're all the same. We don't touch any of that. So I'm just going to call that out because it comes up constantly. But where we do help and we start adding into your business is certainly around administration. There's a lot of administration in cloud, and it doesn't matter whether it's AWS or any other cloud program that's out there. Cloud has administration. There's the onboarding and the billing, which changes depending on customer requirements. There's optimization tools, and they typically tend to cost a lot of money, and we provide those to our partners. The reporting that goes along with that, we have specialists that can help you design the right reports for your customers. And again, that's that unique requirement of what your customer individually wants. We also ensure you get your discounts and credits and do the reconciliation for you each month. So being a monthly billing, and being that there are so many different programs and incentives and rebates that are out there and structured within cloud, it's really important that you have someone actually checking to make sure you're maximizing your potential. And that is something that we do for all of our partners. We also have marketing and lead generation. You know, it's fundamental to both AWS, yourselves, and us that there is leads coming through and that we are actually generating as much business as possible. We can help take you through what the marketing lead generation programs that AWS runs and that you can access, and there's a wealth of information there, so we can detangle and find the right ones for you. We also run our own programs in-house, and it could be simple things. I know Tim talked before about Connect and how Connect during the start of COVID was a big thing. We had a program that you could tap into and actually get that up and running really, really quickly. We have programs running constantly to address the various themes that are out there in the marketplace. And at the moment with public sector, we're actually running a bit of a direct end user lead generation program, and we're looking for partners to allocate those leads to. So it's a really exciting time to be part of all of that marketing activity. We also have a partner portal which actually demystifies a lot of this stuff and actually has packaged tools around some of those offerings. It also has a really good section on the other vendor synergies. So we're talking about CPPO and when you start bringing in the marketplace conversation and the way we can actually start bundling and using marketplace to drive solutions which are not just AWS services, they're actually partnering in with other vendors out there. Anyway, that's how I see value. I certainly may have missed something. Remember, this is my perspective, and I truly do believe value is different for every business and every person. What I really ask of you from a value perspective is have Westcon in, have the discussion, make sure that we're understanding what's important to you in the cloud business. And at that point, then we can actually start matching you up, because there's so much information out there and there's so much value to be had. And it's just ensuring that you're actually supported on your journey. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about Westcon, the Westcon side of the relationship. I think it's time we got into the next slide, and we're going to go into why public sector, and for some reason that's not come up very pretty on the screen, but I will talk to you about what the point is here. So with why public sector, IDC is saying that from a New Zealand perspective, public cloud, Amazon are the leader. Now that is global, we know that, we've always been told, but we are seeing that in New Zealand as well. So from public cloud, leader is AWS. The thing that's important here is we've got New Zealand government who, from 2015, I think it was 2016, they signed it, cloud first. We've got a situation where you have cloud. Cloud is an important part of public sector. We know the leader is AWS. You then have a situation where we've got an emphasis saying that we're only 43% of the way through our journey. So we know there's a lot of growth. We've got IDC saying that there's growth to be had. Actually, it was Gartner, sorry. There's growth to be had of 21% this year, and that continues. And I guess my question to you is, if you're here and is 23% of your IaaS revenue coming from AWS? Because if it's not, there is money still on the table. You know, what sort of growth rates are you looking at? What is your business revenue in cloud? Because we should be seeing these same sorts of stats reflecting across your business. And that's why we're here today, and why this public sector piece is important, because that is a significant portion of the revenue out there. So we have a mixed audience. Some of you are starting your journey with AWS, and some of you are proven channel members. And I just want to ensure we all understand the benefits associated with the Public Sector Partner Program. The first thing is the APN, Public Sector logo. anyone who's worked in government's familiar with GETS and RFP and RFIs and the weightings that they apply. And one of the things that they typically tend to do is look for people who are certified to be operating in a particular area. So in this particular case, being an authorised public sector partner is actually going to be very valuable at that point, because we need to make sure we're hitting all those value points during those RFPs. So there is that. We also know in this world of consumerism of business that before people even talk to you, they've usually done their research. So as part of that, making sure that you're on the sort of partner solution finder is really critical. Finally, next we have funding, and that's our marketing campaigns and making sure that you actually have access to everything you need to be able to promote your business and your solutions. There is not only what there is for AWS, but there is also more specific public sector partner programs that we can run out of Westcon. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words all over the show. We're going to take you through some of the incentives as well to make sure that you can see how we can make this profitable for you. And then last but not least, we have partnership. And I'm going to get AWS, whoever's still on the call, I know Tim's left, shut your ears. I have heard historically when I first started in this area of AWS and channel sometimes being an issue. But anyway, I'm going to assure you that that's actually matured. And I think Tim just spoke to it really nicely when he talked about how much the team has grown and what the goal is to have a channel partner embedded. It is totally different now. People like Cheryl, who was on the call, she's been quiet, but she's come on board in Wellington, and partnering with them makes many hands make light work, and getting in and actually being able to have that sort of relationship where you can do the sales cycle together actually really does work. So what's actually needed to do to be able to be a public sector member? So there is a form, as there always is, so we have to fill a form and make sure we've got all the details. But I think the big thing here is you just need 2 examples of you doing government business. Doesn't have to be AWS, it's any government business in the last 24 months. I'm pretty confident most people should be able to meet that one. The next is the APN Select here. Now, Select normally requires a certain number of certifications, technical and business. It also requires a number of launched opportunities and revenue, that type of thing. So this is the level above registered, which is the entry level for their program. We appreciate that not everyone may be at registered level or able to make registered level today, select level today. So on that basis, there is a program for public sector called Think Big for Small Business. Now, don't be put off by the name. It was named out of America. So remember, America thinks small business is what we consider to be medium to large here in New Zealand. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how we can utilise that program to transition you in sooner and get you on board this journey. Right, so you got your credibility. These are the benefits of doing it. You get your badge straight away, so automatically you're answering those RFPs and RFIs that you are a certified public sector select tier APN, a certified partner. You also will get access to programs and funding under that program, and we'll cover off some of those in a sec. You'll get access to marketing development funds, MDF, and everyone loves that, along with AWS credits. There's also a technical capability discount while working on a competency. So if you're familiar with AWS from commercial land, you've got your steps through the program to profitability, and one of those steps is having competency in particular areas, and to get that you require to get some technical certifications. And what this program does is it actually allows you to get some of those as well as you go, so you get those in advance. So there is a way of tapping into all of that now up front. Up to 150 employees, that's what small businesses according to them. So there's quite a few. Obviously there's ones that are larger in New Zealand, but certainly we've got a lot of partners who meet that requirement. 2 customer public references, which we know about. And then we also have the program requirements. So I'm going to show you actually a bit of a screen dump. It's not the prettiest slide, but it will take you through the program requirements in a little bit more detail. And that technical capability discount. So there is a bit of a requirement there around the billing, and I can talk to that as we go, but certainly that is another thing that we can look at. And this really comes into play also if you want to be able to access the competency, but you're currently select here and you're not quite at the advanced here, and that's where that's going to start kicking in. Yeah, not the prettiest slide. This was not done by marketing. Don't know if anyone can tell. This is more just one of those slides. So if we look at that the big table, you'll see there is up the top, select here, you've got the blue column, and then you've got the white column for select, and then you've got the same for advanced. And if you go down, you'll see that the number of accredited professionals drops down, so that gets you into the program easier than what you would have historically been able to get into the program. And certifications drops from 4 down to 2. From foundational certified individuals down to 1 from 2, and likewise in the advanced side. Now, the reason why you might want to use the Think Big for Small Business in the advanced to get to the advanced here is because if you go down to the corner there, in the left-hand corner, we will see that the benefits of consulting partners, you can see when you start getting up to advanced, you start tapping into more NDF and more funding around things, including the competency piece and getting that extra margin there, discount there. So I'm hoping that that makes some sense. And certainly if you have any questions, please do refer to the chat box, and I can answer those. So here we've just sort of talked about how you can use it. So we've got a bit of a Q&A here, just in case you guys haven't gone through these things. How long does it last for? It depends whether it's going from the select tier or to the advanced tier, but there is a period of time where we're trying to get you upskilled and ready to go so that you meet those program requirements after that period. And with the technical capability discount, it's a 12-month program to get you from there, which sort of comes in line with going from select to advanced on the general program. So this is the real fun stuff here. You'll notice I have a couple of stars around what's new. One of them's a little bit faded out. That's based on how new they are. So as of the 1st of October, we had 2 new programs start. We had the PGR, which is the Partner Growth Rebate, a completely new program. It's that wasn't in existence before, and if we can demonstrate some growth, in existing customers, we can get a 5% rebate. We also now have what's called the Partner Originated Discount, the POD. We used to have Net New, which if anyone's tried getting Net New, it was always really, really difficult. The POD makes it a hell of a lot easier, and it makes it a lot more approachable. In addition to that, under the public sector program, we have the newbie discount. And the newbie discount, this has been around since the program inception, but it's probably not something that you've heard many people talk about because it is specific to public sector. And that is an additional 5% that you can access through the public sector program. What we're going to do is we're going to drill into each of these one by one because I think that they're worth getting familiar with. Just before we do move in, base discount, that's your base, you get that for everything. There's your technical capabilities discounts up the front there. So that's the one we talked about before. We can use newbie to access that technical capabilities discount earlier. So the partner originated discount. This is all about winning new business. The cool thing with this one is with the old one, they had to not be in the system. They had to be had never transacted a certain amount. It was quite a lot that you had to do. Whereas this one here is really about you guys finding opportunities within the end user community and posting those through to AWS. So we utilize ACE, which we're going to do some discussion about later with David. We use ACE to record these. It needs to be launched, and the partner mustn't have done more than 5,000 the month before. It gives you this discount for up to 24 months, and it's a really easy, nice, simple program to be using. Probably the easiest one here. So here's the eligibility, and I find this is the easiest way of thinking about it. You need to submit the opportunity in ACE. So it has to be submitted in ACE, which is their deal registration, if you like, deal registration portal. Once it's submitted, it gets validated as partner originated. So you can't use something if one of their sales reps have gone and done it. If AWS has done the groundwork, it's not going to qualify. It has to be coming from you. But if it's true to you, it will be approved. Launched, it's the workload has to have started, and then the billing starts actually billing. Once those things have happened, it automatically goes through. Just on that validation process, there's actually a validation desk, and they do seriously look at what you've written. So you need to put in there things like how you influence the deal. They're looking at it, that's who's reviewing it, not the account manager out in the field. And I just want to call that out because these are things that have come up before as far as behaviours that we want to manage from a channel perspective. And there's a really nice little team that sits in the channel who reviews this. So make sure you put the right detail in there, because they need that to make that determination. And they're not familiar with the end user account because they're not the sales rep. I think historically it used to go to the sales rep. So just letting you know, make sure you put enough detail in there. Right, let's move on to the PGR. So with the PGR, this is a growth one. So this is a new program we've never had before, and this is to show that you are constantly growing a partner, an end user year on year. And it does go through, and you have to match it within two periods a year apart. And if you can show some reasonable growth, then that starts actually making a difference. I'm actually going to go. Can I get you to go to the next slide? Because I actually prefer the next slide. It makes the most sense to me. So here we've got 5 samples so that we can check whether something's eligible. So the first one there, you'll see they've grown 50% over the 12-month period. Their original start date was June 1st, 2019. Remember, they have to have been on board for a full 12 months to be qualified, 4 quarters actually. They have to have hit that 50%, 40. Ooh, I'm having a moment. David, you might need to step in and just help me. Is it 40%? I thought it was 40% in my head. I haven't got it written down.
45%.
45%. Thank you, David. So 45% to be able to qualify. So they've hit 50% growth during that period, so they're eligible. The one below it, they've only grown 38%, so that would not meet that eligibility requirement. The one under that, that's met the eligibility of the percentage. It's an end user. They've been there long enough. Everything's looking great. The next one down, they are not a full 4 calendar quarters, which is the important thing there. So they are on track to get it, but not right now. And then we have the internal counts don't count. So that's pretty much sort of a good example of what qualifies. And this is why when you have a partner like Westcon, who does do the reconciliations each month when you get your billing, this is the sort of thing that they can track and monitor and pay attention to. So you don't leave money on the table, because it's very easy to miss these things, and we want to make sure we capture them. So the next is newbie. Now this is a public sector only program. It does stack, so you can use it along with the pod and the technical competency, your base commission. So it does stack with those, and it actually starts adding all up. It doesn't stack with enterprise discount programs, so that's for the very, very large customers that run those programs, and private pricing agreements. Obviously, we can't use it with that. But it is a new customer or a new workload. Now, the reason I get excited about this one is it's new workload. So when Tim was talking, and he was talking about innovation and what New Zealand can do, this is a really good example. If you can come up with a new use case for something and a way of meeting a customer requirement, new business challenge, you can actually qualify for this. So it could be an existing customer that's done loads with AWS. They're well engaged, but this is a new workload with a new use case. And I think that's pretty exciting. And that's really driving that innovation piece. And 5% is a nice little discount to be getting. So it runs for 2-year period, and it's pretty hot. Yeah, so from an eligibility, you've got to be obviously a provider. You need to be public sector. You need to maintain an active registration in that program throughout the 24 months, and you need to accept the ACE program. So the ACE program deal registration has its own T's and C's, which you must have already accepted. So you have to be participating in both public sector program and the ACE program. That's the main requirements there. We get you to submit it again in ACE. So ACE is coming up again, and you'll find that this is a reoccurring theme, which is why I've got David talking more to ACE in a minute. The ACE is a critical part of that, and you need to make sure that you put in the field there that it is a newbie campaign. The validation team again goes through that validation criteria. So again, more information you put into the ACE, the better. The partner is notified of that, comes via us, and we submit that, and it keeps going, and you get that payment. So it's a pretty cool program, and one that I'm very excited for because of that innovation piece. And I think it's a good way of doing it. Seller engagement, and here we are with ACE. So David Rosser, our AWS Partner Development Manager, I'm going to pass over to you.
Well, thank you very much. It's a bit scary looking at a picture of yourself on the screen, but anyway.
I think if you go to the next slide, you can kick into your slides, David, so you don't have to
You don't like it either. Okay. Okay, if you could move on to the next slide, then okay, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. So thanks, Simon. I really appreciate that. My name is David Rosser. Great to be with you all today. It's certainly been a busy time for partners and distributors, given all the recent AWS program announcements. Simon has just taken you through the partner originated discount, the partner growth rebate, and newbie. And I wanted to take the next 10 minutes or so to highlight 2 program enhancements that sit alongside our new incentive announcements. Enhancements that are designed to empower your teams as they manage the processes that were actually previously limited to your named APN Alliance lead. But before I do that, I think it's worth providing a reminder of the program that will be central to you driving your AWS business and capitalizing on the new AWS incentives. So look, I'd like to cover 4 things. First, I want to provide a reminder of ACE, what it is, the requirements to access it and benefits it provides. Second, we'll take a look at the new APN permissions and the roles we've introduced to empower your teams. Third, we'll look at ACE Partner Connections and how it provides distributor and distributor seller partners the ability to collaborate on customer opportunities and things like funding requests. And finally, we'll take a look at a few key resources available to you via the APN and also highlighted by Westcon. So if we could move to the next slide, please, Mel. So many partners across New Zealand are already very familiar with the APN Customer Engagements Program, otherwise known as ACE. And they're using it today to engage with AWS sales teams to help evangelize their customer successes, receive technical support and resources, and ultimately accelerate through the AWS partner journey. And of course, progress from registered tier. Now, not only does it increase alignment, collaboration and support for APN partners, but it's how eligible partners can receive AWS generated leads and opportunities. And for resale partners working with an authorized distributor, it's the mechanism you'll need to unlock the partner originated discount. Plus, it acts as the intersection for many other public sector specific programs that attract those more incremental discounts. So Simon has already mentioned newbie, and also kind of how you accelerate tier progression through things like Think Big for Small Business. So ACE is available to registered tier partners and up. All you've got to do is simply sign the ACE terms and conditions on Partner Central, and partners can start submitting opportunities on the ACE Pipeline Manager. again, found in Partner Central. For select, advanced and premier tier partners, there's that added advantage of receiving leads and opportunity referrals. But please note, for select tier partners, this is dependent on them meeting certain criteria, and you can see that highlighted on the slide there. So let's take a closer look at the program enhancements, and firstly, the launch of 2 new permissions features in AWS Partner Central. These actual roles are called the Alliance Team role and the ACE Manager role. So you might be allocating these to your operations team or your sales leaders, your marketing leaders within the business. These roles provide partners the ability to grant multiple team members access to the data and features they need to help manage your AWS partner network. So let's look at the Alliance team. So the Alliance team user will have almost all the same capabilities as the Alliance lead, including viewing the partner scorecard, submitting program applications, and accessing the full ACE pipeline. Now, this role is ideal for users who share administrative responsibility with the Alliance lead. So you're kind of lightening the load there for people, which is great, and spreading the load, if you like. The ACE Manager roles, they give users the ability to view and edit all opportunities and leads in the ACE Pipeline Manager. Additionally, ACE Managers, along with Alliance team users, will receive automated email notifications when AWS shares an opportunity or lead, or when a partner submitted opportunity requires more information. So when you consider the benefits for you, with the new permission features, multiple users from a partner organization can access the data and features they need in AWS Partner Central without relying on the Alliance lead. With the capability, with this capability, partners can distribute workloads that were previously limited to the Alliance lead more broadly, and empower distributed teams to manage processes independently. So look, that's a bit of a game changer, and I think, you know, we put obviously a lot of thought into really, you know, how you can I guess utilize and take advantage, but also bearing in mind we're not just loading it onto one person, we're spreading the load of that, which I think makes an awful lot of sense. And the final program enhancement I wanted to share with you today is Partner Connections. Partner Connections is a new enhancement found in the ACE Pipeline Manager and is currently only visible to the distributor and distributor seller partner relationships. Partner Connections creates a streamlined opportunity management experience for scenarios where AWS partners are working through an authorized AWS distributor like Westcon. It provides partners with the ability to collaborate on customer opportunities and things like fund requests, and also gives them the ability to look up distribution seller or distributor relationships. Partners or distributors have the choice to add at time of submission, as well as the ability to add at later points. And partners without a distribution relationship, they actually won't see the shared connections tab within the ACE Pipeline Manager view. So look, again, another exciting enhancement there. It's something, you know, we've listened to feedback from the channel. I think when you consider the discounts and the ability to share and work with your partners, that is really going to be a big game changer and really ensure that you can really drive those opportunities and really drive that profitability as well. Okay, well, finally, I just really wanted to highlight that all the announcements both Simon and I have taken you through today, they're all covered with supporting how to and explainer videos, step-by-step setup guides and blogs. And of course, you can reach out to the Westcon team who'll be happy to help. We've actually put a lot of good thought, I think, into the content that we've got out there. It's all available now. You may have seen some of that. You may have attended some partner casts. But like I say, there certainly what Simon will be doing is arranging a follow-up pack of that relevant information that will be shared out with you and the attendees today. And don't forget, you know, you can obviously use that to really help then set up your alliance team, your ACE manager and ACE user roles, and really kind of learn how to connect an opportunity with Westcon. That little 2-minute video is very straightforward, and it makes it very simple for you to kind of understand how to do that. And like I said, Simon will be arranging that those follow-up packs will be sent out to you post-webinar. Okay, well, look, that's it from me. I know there's a lot I covered there, but be safe in the knowledge that a lot of that detail is available. It's at your fingertips and available through Westcon. So what I'd like to do now, thanks again for your time. I'll hand back to Simon. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. That was really good. Look, ACE is becoming more and more important, and certainly from our perspective, we encourage its use because it obviously gets you through the tier stages, and there's a lot of programs and incentives that are wrapped up with that. Likewise, it's really good to see now that we can actually have some visibility by being a partner on there from a distribution perspective, because that means we can actually be monitoring your opportunities to enable us to reconcile your monthly billings and make sure you're actually not missing out on anything you should be getting. Big key takeaways for today is please engage Westcon on your journey. We're here to help make sure you get the relevant information and the value that's important to you. And so we really want to be on that journey with you. Maximize those incentives. There are actually some really great incentives out there. We want to make sure that you're taking advantage of them. We need you to get onto ACE, and we need to help you with that, and we're more than happy to do so. Because we need to get that filtering through so that you can absolutely take advantage of all of those. Make sure you get certified, like Peter has been talking to, and just take that market share. You know, you want to see 23% of your revenue coming from AWS. You want the huge amounts of growth. You want to actually reflect what's going on there out in the world. Anyway, let me know what you need. My contact details are there. And we also have the fabulous Partner Success Centre if you have any questions. I will be giving you a pack, so we'll be following up with you there. And thank you very much for attending. I really appreciate your time.